little bit. Just bear for 1 second. Just want to double check the live stream if the sound is good and the connection is good. Yeah. So I'll give it 1 second. Okay, the sound is good. So it's Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor unto YAHAWAH, BA'ashem, YAHWASHI, BA'ashem, and KABAD. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of converse and taught us His truth. Peace and blessings and salutations to the elect out there who spread His truth and sincerity and our charity because of 4 winds. So back with another lesson. As you see the title, Salvation Through Death. And this video is inspired to the elders apostles of the last camp video, which I was watching when I was driving to the job. And they were going heavy into the chip, heavy into the MOTB, which you all should know what it is. It is the charagma. It is the thing that they push out in the world, which is the chip. Okay, it is that chip, and through that chip, the ultimate test is gonna come, the hour of temptation. They can read in Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. But some of us gonna die. Some of the elect gonna die. Okay, and this is why the Spirit came upon me to speak about. Even though we're gonna die, we will obtain salvation. Okay, we're gonna go through some scriptures. But first, we're going to start off with, actually I wanted to start with Revelation chapter 20, but let's start with Revelation chapter 13. Let's go real quick into the mark, So this Revelation chapter 13, let me start verse 15. And it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. And what is the image of the beast? The image of the beast is this way of living, which you see is going more and more into ultimate wickedness. Everywhere you look, everything that you watch, the wickedness is blatantly shown, and that's the way of Esau. Okay, and ultimately, what it end up with is what? With bowing down to Esau, making him your God. That's the image of the beast, the way of living. Okay, and it says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So Esau gonna kill people that won't obey his new world order, that won't follow his new world order and gonna follow what he set up as a standard. He's gonna kill people, like we read already. Should be killed, and it's not figuratively speaking. People are gonna die for resisting what they want to bring upon the earth. So verse 16, and he caused of all, who? Esau, because he had the power. Okay, or the Heavenly Father set him in the power seat because he worships the devil. Matter of fact, let's already said the spiritual demon Satan, his spiritual counterpart. They're going to say Esau's a physical counterpart of Satan, but Satan is a spiritual counterpart of Esau. But so like for the sounds, actually it's a spirit, because as you see the thumbnail of the video, they're the fences, man. They're the fences, and I didn't even recognize them because of the trees. I looked out and then I zoomed in. So hey, they're fences, like in the FEMA camp, like in the concentration camp. Okay, and this is what the people gonna be brought into, man. And like I always said, in Germany, they have the facilities already ready. They have them already prepared. Okay? Because pre goes into before, and and prepare, I believe, goes into make ready. So beforehand, they made it ready already before it's gonna come. And this is what you see, because what they have is here the I would say the slaughter of the Amalekites is how we call it in Germany. The slaughter of the Amalekites, so called. They have the facilities ready already, man. They are set up and prepared, man. And like I said, so you see these fences, and people are gonna be put into behind fences like that for refusing the new world order, for refusing to take part or be part of Esau's new system. So it says, Revelation 13 and 16, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the foreheads. See, so the word mark goes into charagma, which means what? An incision, imprint, a mark. So it's going to be inside, going to be put inside of you through a cut, through incision, you know. And it's what you see. Look it up in Sweden. You see it more and more. Even a German company, you can buy it right now. I could buy it right now. I think it was 80 euros last time I checked. And it's getting pushed and pushed more. They have a German company, you know, and they even had it in what is it? In one commercial for a bank. They had the chip already. And then on top of that, certain banks in a certain area in Germany, you know, like say for example, the New York area, just to give an example, they said, hey, they're gonna ban all these different stations of the bank. They're gonna set these, you know, kill all these banks that you can go to the people and get the money. It's gonna be done. So it's another step towards what? To the MOTB, towards the mark. Okay. So it says, oh, everybody gonna be tried, you know, and which is when you go in the word cause of in Revelation 13 and 16, it speaks about so like to prepare. So like I said, beforehand make ready. So before everybody's there, they make them ready already. They prepare their minds to accept that. And that's what you see. But certain men won't accept that. Certain men gonna refuse that chip, gonna refuse that mark. And we're gonna agree we're gonna help them and what the reward is for what they did. Okay? Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, say if he had the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And this doesn't mean that I can't go to grocery shops anymore, so let him buy for me. No. This means that you won't be able to be part of society anymore. Why? Because everything gonna be written upon their chip. All the information gonna be on their chip. Okay? Because let me go to the blue letter and let me look up the word mark in Revelation chapter 13, right? And then I'm going to show you something. Because like I said, it's the word charagma. We know that. But when you go a little bit deeper into it, it goes into grapho. You know? It goes to grapho. The only problem is that I sometimes often forget where exactly it is. But just bear with me 1 second. Charagma. And then you go there. Yes, here. So you go to the word charagma, it leads you to the word charax. It says a pale or stake, a palisade. When you look up the word palisade, in German palisade, I think. See, so a palisade is a fencing, you know? With the, yeah, I don't get a good picture. Let me just put it here. See? That's a palisade, you know? So that's what it is. But what they're going to use now is what? That, what is it? Let me go back, wait. Let me just put a modern palisade. No, I'm going to use to insert the mark into you, you know? Oh, wait. Wait for 1 second. Internet's not working that good, Salakia. Because I forgot the word Salaki. Forgive me for that. Exactly. The syringe. Yes, that's what it was. Salakia. You know? See, even here's a picture. See, and this also I Am Robot. I think that's the German side. So here, you can see that's what they're gonna put. This is how they're gonna put the chip into you through that syringe, which is a palisade. Okay, from charagma to charax, and this goes back to grapho. You know, just to make the point that it's not only talking about buying and selling, that you can put yourself on the market and, you know, no, it speaks about not being able to be part of society because charagma, palisade, you know, Now it goes to where corrects. Agraphos, like to the Agraphos says to write with reference to the form of the letters. And this chip gonna be you existing card in society right now is what? Last time I was pulled over by the police, said like, please give us your ID. Okay, so if I wouldn't have the ID, they would check me, but they would go to the walkie-talkie, check my the information. I give them my name, my first name, last name, blah blah blah. They would check if it's correct. Okay, cool. But this time, if you don't take that chip, you won't be part of the system because everything gonna be written up on that, every little thing. That's why it's also the hour of temptation, because it's gonna be the final test of you. If you, or as I said, it's gonna be the final test to check if you have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Why? Because it's gonna look like you can't survive without that chip. It's gonna look like you can't exist without the chip. And Esau gonna put it that way. You won't be able to be part of society, you won't be exist in the society, you won't be able to do anything in this world without that chip. And this is what you see where all leads to. Because all the currencies are crashing, you know. I just saw a post from a brother in the group, I think it was the Elder Required Quam, that also the backing of cash is crashing, something to this effect. So you see all these things happening. Why is that? That the cashless society going to be implemented and the chip going to be made mandatory. And to that, it's going to lead to, like I already mentioned, to Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, okay, which is what? This truth. We kept the word of Yahweh Shai. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. The word keep goes to protect, defend, shamar. Okay, the Heavenly Father is going to protect his elect from the hour of temptation. Why? Because I kept his word and did what it was pleasing in his sight and not in the world's sight. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them, to test them that dwell upon the earth. So everybody going to go through this trial. But only a small remnant going to refuse their mark. You're going to have some Edomites going against it. The Bible belts and stuff like that. These radical Edomites, so-called Christians. But ultimately, only the elect going to refuse their mark 100%. They're going to prove their faith towards the Lord. Because like I already mentioned, we're going to read what the mark is, what we did. You're going to see the authentication, what it is. It's the implementation of the mark. And now we're going to go to what it's going to lead to. What the people going to, what the men of the Lord going to do. The men of the Lord going to do if that mark going to be established. And it's going to sound brutal. Yeah, because you have to understand also, through all these movies, people think it's a light thing. What we're going to read in a second. It's a light thing to die. It's a light thing to suffer. It's not. Well, of course, it seems light on the TV because you don't go through it, but go through a moment. Go through a moment. It's easier said than done. But, like I said, Revelation chapter 20, and let's go straight to the point, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them. And who are they? The apostles. Okay? Who Yahushua said, like you can read Matthew chapter 19, and verse 28, if I remember right. Because Peter was going to Yahushua and asked him, hey, so what we're going to receive for actually just leaving our lives? We left all behind, everything. We left everything behind. What's going to be our reward? He said, you're going to reign over the 12 tribes, the 12 tribes of Israel. You're going to judge them. You're going to reign upon them. And on top of that, they're going to receive everything that they lost 100-fold. So now it says here, so this is who's talking about with they saw thrones. Of course, all the elect, the 144,000 are going to be judges and rulers, but it starts first and foremost with Yahushua, then King David, and then the rest of the apostles. Okay? And King David is Peter. He's the chief cornerstone. That's what it is, man. So it says, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given to them, unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High. So the witness of Yahushua is the testimony of Yahushua, man. The spirit of prophecy, the things that you bring out, the truth, and the word of the Lord. Because you testify Yahushua, you bring out the word of him. And today he's testified in the world. Okay? Hey, shalom, shalom. So like I said, you testify Yahushua out in the world. And what else did it say? And for the word of the Most High, and for this truth. So you're gonna be beheaded. Some of us gonna be beheaded for this truth. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, and it says, um, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or on the hands. So now people are gonna say, but see, it's three different things. You have to understand that. You have the beast, which is made in the EU. Okay, cool. Then you have the image of the beast, like I said, it's a way of living. But then you have the mark, which is going to be the ultimate show of servitude, the ultimate show of allegiance to Esau. That's what it's going to be. It's like, because when you also go into, where was it again? Let me just double check it real quick before I speak upon it. Where I think it is, let me just check it. Because when we go to Revelation chapter 13, I think it's just, wait for 1 second. Yeah, okay. So if you go to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 18, right? I'm going to read the verse real quick. It says, and here's wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, which man, Esau, and his number is 603.6, so 666, because one score is 20, three score is 60. So 666 is his vibration, his number, which you see everywhere. This way I also do the salute with the one eye and everything with it, you know? Like, for example, in football, in American football, you see they do the, they just do the first down, then they do the second down with the Baphomet sign, and then the third down they do with the 666 because that's the vibration they want to put out. But also, it's talking about the barcode, because when you go into a barcode, let me just put my profile right here. If you see the barcode and you see the, so to keep these presets. So if you see here, on the outside, middle, and then the outside again, these double stripes, I would call them. That's 666. Okay, that represents 666. That's the transaction. You have to have that. I can't do any transaction. So nevertheless, that's the vibration of Esau. But also when you go into the 666 or 603, wait for 1 second. Let me know if the sound and everything is going good. So if I go into shy side stigma, yep. So it says shy side stigma, and when you go into the word stigma, which is G4742, it says, okay, and let's look up the word prick. THAWADAH. Wait for 1 second. Like I said, my internet sadly not working as I want to. It says prick something, right? It says to pierce slightly with a sharp point. See? So that's what it is. They're gonna pierce you with what? With the syringe, and to insert the mark into you. And also they're gonna cut your head open if you want the brain chip, like certain people have, or certain people want to get, like Elon Musk. Not Elon, but Elon Musk did say that they're gonna start human trials with the brain chip with people that have spinal disorders, because I want to bring the miracles that you're gonna believe them. Okay, so now, the Revelation 2 and 10 we're gonna get in a second. So now we're gonna do the word prick, right? Or where it says stigma. It says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked cut, pricked/cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. So that's going to be the ultimate sign of servitude. That's going to be the ultimate sign of allegiance. Like I said before, yeah, you say, I don't worship beasts, I didn't do this. But if you take that mark Even though he didn't do the two things before, I was going against it. But if you take the mark, it's going to be the final test. That's why it's the hour of temptation. Because people are going to be tested. People are going to be tried. Because your life going to stand on the line. Right now, you can do still what you want to. You know, certain freedom was maybe taken away or is taken away from you. You know, through the C-19 crisis and now the energy crisis and much more crisis to come. Because this means the downfall of this kingdom. You know, they want to bring the order of chaos, of course, but ultimately they're just bringing the kingdom down. It's going to stay down. It won't rise again. So, like I said, these people had in ancient times to show who they belong to. So if you take that mark, you're going to show who you to belong to. And to that, you turn your back on YAHAWAH, and this means your destruction. Okay? And certain men refused that. John saw the prophecy. Certain men going to refuse that. He saw it already. And it's going to happen. The elect going to refuse the mark. Okay? So it says also, and there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. See? So this is what it is. So if you do that, you may Esau your God. Let's go on to the word. So look at Devo. Devotee. Okay. It says one who is self-dedicated to a cause of practice. Let's go on the word devote. It says, very quick. Devotee, right? It says devotee, one who is ardent, devoted to something, an enthusiastic or advocate. See, somebody, it says an ardent or fanatical adherent of a religion, and that's what it is, man. They were all into it. They were on fire for their God, you know. But you have to understand that if you take that chip, hey, you turn yourself against the Heavenly Father. So now, like we read already, and a Shalom 12 tribes of Israel, KABAD. But like I said, let's read it again. Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded. What does the word beheaded mean? The head going to be chopped off, like James, you know, the one son of Zebedee, the brother of John. His head was cut off with a sword. And it says, and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their heads or on their foreheads. It's like on their hands, Salakia, and hardcore bonds. But nevertheless, it speaks about the men that refuse to mark. It speaks about the men that gonna rather die, and this is gonna lead up to the salvation. That's why I said salvation through death. That's what it is. Because when we go into the word salvation, you know, what's just a build up to this lesson, and now we go into the word salvation and the etymology, etymon. It says salvation, right? It says originally in the Christian sense, the saving of the soul, deliverance from the power of sin, and admission to eternal bliss. Okay, when you go down, it says noun of action from past participle stem from salvare, to save. So it comes from to save, right? And the word save means 12th century saving, to deliver from the danger, to deliver from danger, rescue from peril, bring to safety. So even though they're gonna die, they're gonna be, because let's read Isaiah chapter 57 verse 1. It says, the righteous perisheth, and no man layeth it to heart, and merciful men are taken away, none considering, no understands, no looking at that they're going to be protected, that they're going to be saved, that they're going to be delivered from the danger to come. That's why all the apostles were put or died or put to death before 70 AD. Okay? That's why certain men going to die for refusing the mark, that they're going to be with the Lord. Because we're going to read, the first they're going to, the people that die for this truth going to be first with the Lord. And that's why salvation might going to come through death. You know, not every one of us going to be here, you know, be on this planet till Yahushua returns. Certain of us have to die before the great and coming day of Yahuwah. Okay, and certain of us their head's gonna be chopped off. They're gonna die in a horrific way. But we're gonna read the scriptures. Matter of fact, let's grab it right now. And Wisdom of Solomon. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, and verse 1. It says, "But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die." See, so they died, but there was no torment for them, even though they died maybe in a horrific way. You can, like I said, that's why I pulled the scripture, because to get your head cut off is a horrific way to die. You know, like the elders apostles going into it, it's an honorable way to die. And this is why also, like the brother posted here, Revelation 2 and 10. "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried." And this is the time that we are about to enter into. Like I said, here's the fence. And it's reminding me, the FEMA camps and everything. Because this is going to come. People are going to be thrown to FEMA camps, and people are going to get their head chopped off. But Salakia, let me just take the jacket off, because another speaking makes you feel hot. You know, that's how the spirit works, man. Gives you energy. Gives you fire. Like on a cold day, remember in the camp? You know, you're speaking in the camp, and then boom, the energy came into you. The word and this teaching kept you warm. So to finish it off, it says, "Be thou faithful, and ye shall be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." Yeah, the crown of life. What is it? Everlasting rulership, man. The crown represents rulership, and the life that Heavenly Father is going to give us is going to be immortality. So this is what we're going to inherit if we refuse the New World Order and going to stick to Yahawah to the bitter end, man. Yeah, it's bitter. It's going to look bitter in the eyes of men, but in the eyes of the elect, we're going to read what it's going to be. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 2. Now, so like Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 verse 2 again. And it says, "In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die. And the departure is taken for misery. Is a miserable death." Let's look up the word misery. Okay. Misery. It says, state of grievous affliction, condition of eternal unhappiness. So they say they look like they were never going to be happy anymore. They're going to look like they're going to go to hell. Okay. So it says, "And they're going from us to be utter destruction." So this is how the people saw the men of the Lord, the righteous men, dying in a very unhappy way. They're going to hell. The God left them. But what does it say? "But they are in peace." Why? "For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality." And that's the mentality that the elect have. They have faith in immortality. They have faith in the promises of Yahawah. And that's why they're willing to take that death. That's why they're willing to die. And on top of that, like it says in Revelation chapter 14 and verse, we're going to jump up to verse 10 because to see the punishment for taking the chip. We're going to read that later. But I'm going to go down to verse 13. It says, "And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write." Revelation 14 and 13. "Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth." So you're blessed if you die in the Lord. If you die for Yahawah, you are blessed. Why? "Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors." Because we are plowing, we are laboring every day, Yahawah. We are putting in the work. But then the rest going to start already there. When you die, the rest starts from that point. Okay? "And their works do follow them." So the Heavenly Father is going to reward you for your works. You did the works of righteousness. You stood stiffly for His name's sake. You brought this truth week in and week out, day in and day out. You did what you had to do to Yahawah's word. Your work's going to follow you. You're going to be delivered Even though you look like you died in a most horrific way. I have a scenario always in my head. Your family right in front of you. They tell you, take the chip, or they're gonna die. You know? You see them, and they have them all on guillotines. Your wife, your 2 children, son, daughter. Guillotine drop. Boom. Heads chopped off. Then your beloved brothers, same thing. Your loved ones killed in front of you, and they'll come to you. You still refusing the mark, and you just praise YAHAWAH, whatever you're gonna say, man. Because like scriptures say, you shouldn't even meditate upon what you're gonna say in that hour, because Heavenly Father gonna give you the spirit to speak. You know, to condemn these people, to speak against them, and then your head might get chopped off. But then from that point, you are in peace. From that point of that moment of death, you are in peace with YAHAWAH. Okay, and your works to follow you. From that point, your rest starts. So we have nothing to worry about. We just have to do what we have to do right now, that we be able to obtain that. Okay. So going back, Revelation, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 4. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is the hope full of immortality. See, yet is the hope full of immortality, like we read in Isaiah chapter 57. You have to understand that you are safe from the evil to come. Because if you will take the mark, it says Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead on his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which shall put out without mixture. So you're gonna read it. You're gonna receive the pure and undiluted wrath of YAHAWAH. Okay, that's what you're gonna receive. It says, without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and the presence of the Lamb. Yeah, and you're going to be destroyed by the weapons of YAHAWAH's indignation, which are the missiles. You're going to be merciful. You're going to be destroyed by that if you take their mark. But if you die for YAHAWAH, you first off have an honorable death in faith. Second off, you are at peace from that moment on. And the most beautiful thing, you're going to be from that point on with YAHAWASHI forever. That's your point, being with YAHAWASHI forever. From that point on, the YAHAWASHI is going to be forever with you. Hey, all praise to YAHAWASHI, man. Brakata YAHAWASHI, and it says, and the smoke of the torment descended up forever and ever, which means for a very long time, because if you burn something, the smoke going to come up long. The smell of it, the smoke, it's just not going out like that. Only if you would do something to it. But if the whole landmass of America is going to be nuked up, it's going to burn for a long ass time. Okay? So, okay. Yeah, let me do it like that. So it says, no. It says, yeah. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Yeah, you won't have rest, man. You know, the Israelites going to die and going to come back. But hey, if you took that, man, you're going to die a horrific way. And you're going to receive cancer also, the grievous sore. But verse 12, listen up. He is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of YAHAWASHI. Here are the men that are faithful. Here are the men that keep the faith in YAHAWASHI no matter what. They're willing to die for this truth. But like we read already, your hope is full of immortality. You are taken away from the misery to come. And let's go to 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Salakia. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. And let's start at verse 13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, which means they are dead. Okay? But what do you do when you sleep? You're resting, right? And when you're dead, when your body is in the grave, in so-called hell, or I said, the grave, your spirit's in rest with the Lord. You're sleeping, your body's sleeping, ready to be awoken again. Okay? And that's what it is, because in your sleep, you are at rest. So it says, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. Yeah, you shouldn't sorrow because of them that died in this truth. You shouldn't sorrow because of the brothers that left this earth earlier than we might expect it. You shouldn't sorrow. Why? You have the hope. You have the understanding of the scriptures. You have the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. That's why you shouldn't be even sorry. You should be happy because they're in rest from that point, like we read. And their works follow them. So what do we have to worry about? Why should we sorrow for them? We should praise YAHWAH for this man, that he was in this truth, and that he was a fervent teacher and a fervent servant of YAHWAH, man. That's what we should do. And praise the Lord that he delivered him from the evil to come. Because we are about to go to Jacob's trouble, the most cruel and worst time ever seen on this earth. Ever seen. Salakia. So, but it says, like what it said, is Jacob's trouble is the most cruel and most evilest time, or most malicious time that's about to come. The pure wrath of Esau come upon this earth. So it says, verse 14, 1 Thessalonians 4:14. For if we believe that Yahawashi died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahawashi will the Most High bring with him. So when Yahawashi returns, they're going to come with Yahawashi in return. And they're going to be resurrected. And then from that point, they're going to be immortal. So what does this mean for us? We don't have to worry about anything. We just have to keep the faith. That's all should be our main priority. Keep the faith in Yahawashi, do what is pleasing in his sight, and then do unto the end. Whatever your end might be, until the point that you might have to die, or till the Lord comes back, because there are both ways for us. They're both ways for us, because because now you might think like, oh, so what happened to the men that don't die? They're gonna be merciful? No, they're not, because they're gonna be delivered from the destruction. They're gonna be delivered from the destruction, because Heavenly Father is gonna preserve them. They're gonna be beamed up right before destruction, while the missiles flying. Then we're gonna look down, and we're gonna be afraid, man. And I'm off that number, but they're gonna be afraid because of the terribleness of the Lord, because of the massive destruction they're gonna cause. So 1 Thessalonians 4 and verse 15. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. So the word prevent, it means like hold back, but when you go like hold back or stop, but when you really go in the word prevent, it means before and venir to go. They won't go before them, which are asleep, which are dead, because they are with the Lord already. So we won't come before them. We won't. For the Lord himself, shall descend from heaven with a shout. So the Lord Yahawashi is going to come down with a shout. Like it says in Isaiah, I think most travailing one, man. He's gonna come with the ultimate shout, man. Okay, let me just give me just a second. Isaiah 42:14, and I have long time holding my peace. I've been still. That's talking about Yahawashi, and refrained myself. Now I will cry like a travailing woman, like a woman that gives birth. And you know how to shoot. Do all kinds of things. I will destroy and devour at once. That's what Yahawashi is going to do when he's going to return. So Yahawashi is going to come down with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, which is the final trump. And the dead in Yahawashi shall rise first. So the dead in Yahawashi are going to rise first. They're going to come first to the Lord. And then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds. So Yahawashi is going to come down with the fathership, and the dead in Yahawashi are going to rise first. They're going to be first with the Lord, and then the rest of the elect that are on the earth still going to be beamed up to be delivered from the destruction to come. That you can read in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 11 to 12. And it says, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And listen up close, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. So from that point on, we're going to be forever with Yahawah Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI. Okay? And it says, wherefore comfort one another with these words. Yeah, these should be words of comfort. So like I said, it doesn't matter which way you go out. It's about the faith. If you die or remain until the end, both gonna be put together. Both sides, the ones that died, the ones that survived to that point, they're gonna be brought together and gonna be one with the Lord from that point on. Which I mean, one gonna be immortal from that point on, and they're gonna be in one mind, because we're gonna have our mind refreshed, man. Alright, so we're gonna have the perfect mind. Okay, the unblemished, perfect mind of Yahweh Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI. So like the brother pulled here in Matthew 27:52, and the graves were opened, when Yahawashi was crucified, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose. See? And that's what's gonna happen. Some of them that died gonna rose up again, man. They're gonna be mass resurrection, man. And that's what it is. So this is why I titled the video Salvation Through Death. Because like we read, in the eyes of the people we seem to die, but our hope is flow from mortality. None considering that the righteous be preserved from the things to come. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. So we have nothing to worry about. Yeah, we might die for refusing the New World Order, but ultimately, this is our salvation. It's our salvation. Let me just check for some comments on the some preachers on the comment board. THAWADAH Salakia that didn't really read much of them, but let me read that. 1 Corinthians 15:55. O death, where's the sting? O grave, where's the victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. Yeah, because we're going to have the law written in our inward parts, and today we won't die anymore. That's going to make us immortal. Okay, because the wages of sin is death. And through whom we got in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. I think it's the 57th verse. And then it says, I'm already in the New Testament, so let me just grab it real quick, because the brother posted these two beautiful scriptures. 1 Corinthians 15 and verse Mashiach, and that's what it is, man. So let me just check. Joel 3:16. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion, and others voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. Yeah, the mist is going to be hitting the earth, but the elect going to be delivered from that. I can also read Isaiah chapter 24:20, if I remember right. The earth is reading to and fro like a drunkard. That's represent the missiles hitting the earth and causing a massive earthquake. It says, shake, the earth shall shake, but the Lord Yahawah will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. Exactly. And this is the mentality that we should have, and the faith that we have, that the Heavenly Father is our hope, our faith, in whom we trust unto the end. And this brings our salvation, even through death. And like I said, salvation might come through death. So yeah, I think this was it, man. Beautiful precepts. But I think this was the whole video, man. Matter of fact, let me just go down. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Matter of fact, let me close over Revelation chapter 11, and then we're going to close the video, because I have no other precepts in mind. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 11 and verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. Like we read in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. They ascended, they went up, because to descend is go down, ascend is to go up. It says, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and the enemies beheld them. So the enemies of us going to behold us. Like it says also in Wisdom Solomon chapter 5, the strength of our salvation, which is going to be the deliverance, the deliverance from great death and great evils to come. It says, In the same hour there was a great earthquake, which represents the mists in the earth. So at the same time, simultaneously, the mists being shut and hidden the earth, and the 10th part of the city fell, which speaks about America, 10th part of Edomites, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, which means completion. Innumerable in an innumerable amount of people gonna die, uncountable. Okay, it says, and the remnant were afraid. They were afraid because of the great and terribleness of YAHAWAH, like I said before, and gave glory to the Most High, or the power of heaven, which is the Heavenly Father. So understand, man, salvation might come through death, man. Salvation through death. There's another way to obtain salvation. But ultimately, all we have to do is keep YAHAWAH first and foremost, and keep the faith in Him, man. But I also see the battery is low. So, hey, I pray and hope this video was edifying to the elect, to the supreme power, mercy and grace of Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, KABAD. I want to give once again all praises, glory, and highest honor unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, KABAD. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings, salutations to the elect out there who spread this truth with sincerity and our charity across the four winds. Hey, stand strong in the faith, keep the faith, because this is our ticket towards the salvation. Keep the faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, man. Hey, THAWADAH came for the coming board. Hey, THAWADAH, man. Keep the faith up. We in these times, man. We in these times, and we see every day our salvation coming nearer. So until the next one, man. Shalom. And THAWADAH again for all the precepts and for all the support on the coming board, man. Shalom, Akim.